Prime Minister welcomes impactful decisions at CARICOM CSME meeting, gets first-hand view of detention centres under enhanced security measures, and promises action on report into the operations at Petrojam. You're tuned into Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Stay with us. Having pledged to move from talk to action, CARICOM Chairman Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his counterparts made concrete steps to move the region forward this past week. Following their December 3 and 4 meeting in Trinidad and Tobago, the grouping signed the St. Anne's Declaration on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME. In it, a plan to implement the CSME within the next 3 years, to welcome Haiti's full integration into the CSME by 2020, as well as the convening of a meeting on air and maritime transportation.
We have agreed to expand the categories of skilled workers who are free to move within the CSME space. And this expansion would now include agricultural workers, security guards, beauticians, and barbers. These are positive developments for our people and matters which we have been championing for some time.
And Professor Avinash Prasad has been appointed to lead a 10-member restructured commission on the economy to advise member states on a growth agenda for the community. Back in Jamaica Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness promised to act on the findings and recommendations of the Auditor General's report into operations at Petrojam. While thanking the Auditor General for the comprehensive report, Mr. Holness said many of the recommendations had already been acted upon since he'd assumed oversight for energy earlier this year.
There's still more issues that she has raised, which I will obviously have to address. For example, what has caught my eye of great interest is the issue with the pricing. That is something that we will have to take a very serious look at. Issues to do with infrugality of the use of public resources, that has to also be addressed. I believe that you could say that this is a watershed moment for transparency and accountability in Jamaica.
Wednesday also saw the Prime Minister visiting 16 families who were burnt out of their homes at Bell Rock off Olympic Way on November 28. Mr. Holness, who is Member of Parliament for the area, assured the displaced residents that he would assist them to rebuild their homes. The Prime Minister said he had received a report into the FAR and funds had been set aside to start the rebuilding process.
The area deserves attention. We'll start as quickly as possible. We will have to actually design the units, get approvals. I have to get NWC inside here to put in the sewage. The planning process will take a month or two. It will take a little time. I don't want to give you any false hope that you could be in your new house for December 25th. That's not going to be possible. Okay. But we're going to move very quickly.
On Thursday, Prime Minister Holness held his annual Christmas treat for senior citizens on the lawns of Jamaica House. Over 400 seniors from various homes for the elderly were treated.
So far, we have seen facilities that are, I would say, generally up to standard, but clearly we could and should do more to improve the standard. So the objective of my visit is to see what else we could do to improve conditions.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's assessment of detention centres under the zones of special operations and states of emergencies. Saturday's tour covered centres holding detainees from Kingston, Montego Bay and Spanish Town.
What we have seen here, from looking at all the reports that have gone so far, both here and in Montego, is that the zones of special operation is working. It is a good strategy. We have never built it as a complete strategy to the problem, but it is indeed one critical element of a larger strategy.
And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.